Don't let that fool you. I like to be calm. I like to be relaxed. I like to be present. I like to experience what's going on around me. I like to be aware. And perhaps that is perceived as being calm. Of course, I get stressed out, but I try to not get too stressed out and always come back to that kind of feeling of what's going on, observing. I always observe as I travel somewhere or as I go somewhere. I look at perspective. I look at vanishing points. I look at proportions. I look at composition. I look at forms. I look at all kinds of stuff, colors, shapes. And oftentimes that will lead me to an idea for a sculpture, even paintings as well.
And does that make you feel very present, very aware?
Yes, absolutely. Because for the simple fact that, let's say you're observing a car or something and you're walking by, well, that you only have a moment to appreciate that, because pretty soon it will be gone or you'll be gone past that moment. So you're forced to be there at that time, looking at it.
For someone for whom painting or sculpture is not a profession, but you'd like to get into that state of acute awareness of the present moment, what kind of practice would you recommend?
I would recommend start observing, and pretty soon you'll be seeing that take place in you. And so it's a matter of practicing. When you're walking, when you're driving, when you're sitting there in your coffee shop looking at people go by, start observing. What are they wearing? What kind of combination do they have? What type of body do they have? What kind of face, the shape of the face do they have? How are they wearing their hair? How are they moving? What kind of stride are they moving? How wide are their steps? Are they taking short steps or are they taking long steps? I mean, everything that you can think of, just observe and make it a habit. And pretty soon it's just the way you look at the world. And it will help you to stay there, present. Like also, for instance, now the sun is setting, so I look at the shadow and the contrast of light and shadow and the colors and the hues, and tones and that tree that we're looking at. So right now I'm very present in that tree and looking at it and the different branches, the shapes and how it's irregular shaped and all this, and the bark, the striations of the bark, so I'm living that particular moment with you.
Nice to be present.
Yeah.
How do you remember to come back to it?
I got myself into a habit, like whenever I was driving, whenever I'm walking somewhere, whenever I'm sitting in a cafe or something, I usually go back to that state, because those are like key moments where we can do that.
Like triggers.
Yeah, they're moments where they lend themselves to that kind of stuff. So while you have them, take advantage of them.
I find it's the easiest to do when you change a state. Like, we're driving now, then we'll stop and walk out of the car, and to use that as a trigger, or before sitting down to eat, when you're finished eating. So to use these changes of activities as triggers to remember to come to the present moment. Just settle into the next activity.
Try to see things new. Like, okay, I've been here down this road for 1,000 times, but is there anything new in that little stretch that I haven't seen? And
colors or shadows.
Sure, and if you look hard enough, and sometimes you don't have to look hard, you will notice little variations. So that's part of observation. you know. And if you just keep at it, it becomes a habit. And I think that's part of why we love travel so much, human beings. Most human beings. It takes us out of our routine, which is oftentimes numbing.
Yeah.
And it puts us in a new setting that forces us to observe. And that somehow, by default, is very enriching and also fulfilling. But if we can make that part of our daily routine, just think how much enriched your life would be.
I know, because we can't like travel all the time.
Yeah.
So learning how to do this when you're continue doing the same thing every day, going to the same office, you're walking down the same street to work, to come home. Just remembering.
Yeah, like if you're walking, let's say you've walked this way 1,000 times going to your office. If I were to ask you, okay, so how many blocks do you walk to your office? Well, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. Okay, but can you tell me the right number? No, well, no, I can't. Okay, well, perhaps you want to count the blocks that you travel to for your work. And then I would ask you, so do you walk on the right side or the left side? On the right side. Okay, so how many trees are there on the way there? I don't know. Well, perhaps you should count them. It keeps you focused. You're walking, you're thinking, and naturally you have to pay attention, you're crossing the street, you want to get hit by a car, but there's a way of doing it where you can count, and keep focused. Even if it's just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it doesn't have to be a half an hour. No, it's just little spurts, and it starts to add up.
Just noticing anything new in your surroundings, or anything you haven't noticed before.
That's right. And what's interesting about that is that power of observation starts to spill over to other areas in your life, meaning with interpersonal relationships. You start noticing people's behavior a lot more, and how they behave and why they behave. And you start really observing people, and it's really kind of an interesting situation. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Because you obviously, through doing your art, you're super observant. And I think it shows through your paintings and your sculptures.
Well, that's what artists...
enjoyment of observing your subject.
Yeah. Artists usually are very, very good observers. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.